Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Cups. I feel like you're somebody who understands that your day-to-day feelings about something are going to fluctuate, right? I think that you're learning right now in your life how to deal with disappointment, how to deal with things not going exactly the way you have wanted them to, okay? 5 of Cups is a card that says something should have been here, but it wasn't, okay? So this is your station. This is your first card of the spread, right? It's kind of where you are on the spiral road. I feel like you're dealing with someone or something disappointing you, something that was supposed to show up, something that was supposed to be true and be real. I think you're realizing that it wasn't. It didn't show up for you, okay? And you're learning how to deal with that. You're learning how to process those feelings and how to not cling to them. You don't want to overly identify with the 5 of Cups. You see it as a wave that's coming upon you, and it's going to go back out again, and a different wave is going to arrive right after it. So I think that you're trying to keep yourself positive. You're trying to stay optimistic, even when something let you down. Now let's find out what's going on here with a little bit of context. Okay. There we have the 6 of Swords. So just because something didn't show up exactly when and where you thought it was or thought it should, doesn't mean that the plan is kind of off track. Okay, we have the 6 of Swords here. There we have a Prince of Swords, a Queen of Cups, an 8 of Pentacles, and a 10 of Wands. We have a Prince of Wands, an Ace of Swords, a Princess of Pentacles, and a 3 of Wands. So I feel like something really is showing up for you here. I feel like this is maybe some recognition for you. Okay, that 3 of Wands at the end. I feel that this is now I feel like your persistence is really paying off here. Okay, something that may have to do with a plan that's been stalled or some progress that has been blocked. I feel like everything's starting to open up again, and things are gonna get rolling. Okay, I feel like there is some recognition coming in for you. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments section down beneath the video, and I want to apologize for my appearance and for my voice. We're a little under the weather here today. I'm in my lounge clothes, so you'll have to bear with me, okay? Hopefully you're in your pajamas too. Anyway, let's look around the room and see what we've got. Well, first thing we notice is that there's no major arcana cards. And so I kind of understand that, it may feel as if, that 5 of Cups, if we let it really linger and we sink deeper into it, we'll start to feel like we've been completely abandoned, that we're not being recognized, that spirit is not in the building, as it were. But I think the message here is that, you're still supported in what you're doing, even if it feels like nobody has showed up for you, or that the person that you thought would show up for you didn't. Spirit's showing up for you. Right? Spirit or your true self or God, goddess, deity, that's the energy that shows up even when nobody else does, okay? And I think that it's kind of giving you the motivation to continue on, even if you feel like you have to do something alone, right? I feel that you're kind of ready. You're ready to do whatever it takes to get to the goal right now. I don't know what your goals are, but I kind of feel, because of the nature of the fire energy here, I feel like somebody was supposed to be there by your side, but I feel like they are not. And I feel like now, going forward with the Ten of Wands, now you have to shoulder all of the burden. You're carrying all of the weight. Well, that's okay, because, you know, you'll get all of the recognition for that weight, okay? For your efforts, yeah. So, fire, we've got obviously a couple of water cards, a couple of air cards, and we have a couple of earth cards. So fairly balanced in the elements. There is no major arcana cards. Like I said, it kind of feels like there are no major karmic knots that you've got to untie. I feel like you're doing everything exactly right. It's just a matter of working through the inconvenience and working through the feelings of disappointment. Again, the Five of Cups is your station. This is where you are right now. This isn't the beginning. It's not the end. It's not the forever position. This is just happens to be right now, walking through a period of disappointment, walking through a period of sadness, or the realization that somebody said they were going to be here and they weren't. They didn't show up on time. Okay, or somebody maybe had promised you that they would be by your side and they are not showing up. Okay, so dealing with some of that disappointment, the challenge for you with the Six of Swords is to continue on the path, to not feel as if now, because of this other person and their cold feet, or their insecurities, or their fear, or their change of heart, that those decisions by that person now somehow affects your plans. Okay. So the Six of Swords to me is very organized. I think it's kind of Spirit's way of saying, stick to the plan. Even if something wasn't there when you expected it. Now, I don't know if it has to do with a person. I feel like it does, because you have a lot of court cards. But whatever it was or is that is now disappointing you, okay, the challenge for you is to keep going anyway. The challenge for you is to stick to the plan even though you're feeling disappointment. Okay, even though there is a sadness here that we expected to find something or feel something, or we expected someone to be there, and it's not, or they're not, or it didn't pan out that way. You still need to keep going and follow your plan, stay organized, and follow your trajectory. Okay, but that's the challenge for you right now, is to continue on. Despite the feeling of the Five of Cups. Okay. Down beneath the surface, in your soul, this is that cry beneath the silence. This is what your soul knows, even if you forgot, and this is basically that regardless of what happens around you or what choices other people make, you are staying fixed in your heading, right? You're bearing, you're following your North Star here, and you're locked in. Okay, so this is that part of you that will show up for yourself even when nobody else is around, regardless of what waves the universe kind of throws at you. What the, you know, despite how choppy the water is, you're going to stay dead ahead, 0 degrees true north. Okay, and that's something that Spirit is emphasizing. I think there's also kind of a lesson here that says. You really, truly only can truly 100% trust in yourself. And I think it's something that you tend to give other people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I think that you tend to give people second chances, you know, and that's a wonderful thing. That's beautiful energy. But you also have to know that you give people second chances and they may disappoint you a second time. Okay? So as open and as forgiving and as tolerant as you might be, okay, you're not going to let that, or you're not going to let the choices of other people determine your progress. Okay, so you can be very open-minded, you can be very forgiving, you can give everybody the benefit of the doubt, you can be very trusting to other people, but also to know that people might disappoint you. Okay, so it's not a naive trust. Okay, it's choosing to believe that other people mean well, and then if they don't show up for you, okay, that's fine. No big deal. Okay? So it's not that you're expecting everybody to have integrity, okay? Or to, basically to do what they say they're going to do, right? You want to believe that they will, and you're going to trust them that they will, but then if they don't and they disappoint you, that's something that kind of comes with it. That's the risk we take, So I think this card is a very important card for you in that it's a choice. It's your choice. It's your choice to believe in people, and it's your choice to kind of stay focused and continue doing what you know to be right, even when other people are kind of letting you down, okay, or showing their true colors, that sort of thing. In the background, we have a Queen of Cups. This is in the chain position, the link that binds you, okay? And this, to me, was a period of time in your life where you took things very personally. I think that the behaviors of other people and the actions, the choices, I think really used to affect you very, very deeply. I think you're still very sensitive. I think you're still very compassionate, and you're still very, very sensitive to what other people do and say, to the actions and the decisions of other people. But I think there was a time in your life where this current disappointment would have devastated you, where you would have been like, you would have been stuck in those feelings for a long time, processing that how could they have done that, and what did that mean, and what did I do wrong, and all. I think now there's kind of this ability for you to just say, okay, it is what it is, let's continue, let me keep going, okay? Because the queens are always looking at the past, yeah? And the Queen of Cups, especially, as the processing something, is going to take a long time, okay? So what I see with the Five of Cups is that a wave of emotion, a wave of disappointment, okay, fine, it is what it is, it's going to wash away again. The Queen, however, is that time in your life where you would have immersed yourself in this Five of Cups, and it would have overtaken you, okay, to the point where your plans would have just been completely destroyed. Okay, they would have broken down. We would have gotten like a 10 of swords here instead of a 6 of swords. So I think this is showing a lot of emotional maturity for you. I think that you've grown a lot. You're still very sensitive to the actions of other people, but it doesn't surprise you when someone might disappoint you. Okay, and I don't think you hold on to that energy longer than you need to, and that's a very good thing. The fifth position is the Giant. This is your untapped power right now, okay? And this is the power of patience, okay? This is the power of you knowing that you're going to show up for yourself, and if somebody else is going to come and help you tend this garden, fine. But you're not expecting anything of other people. You have high standards, and you do have expectations, but you're not so naive to think that everybody's going to live up to your standards, And so you have a patience for other people, but I think you have a patience for yourself as well. And I think that there's a lot of integrity in the spread here today, and especially with the Three of Wands at the end, that virtue, right? I think that you're a person who does what they say they're going to do, even if other people don't. And it's kind of, the two wrongs don't make a right sort of energy. But the patience really is a big one for you. The ability to kind of pay attention to the situation and do what needs to be done, to see all the details, to know what something needs of you, and to be able to provide that. So I kind of feel that whatever situation you're in, whatever your goals are right now in life, if somebody else isn't showing up, you're able to get over that frustration or that resentment and do what needs to be done in order to grow the thing. You're picking up the slack, basically, okay? And that's, of course, connecting us with our 10 of Wands in the future position. But this is your superpower right now, okay? This is the patience and the attention to detail that you need. You've got to continue showing up for whatever this is in your life because it's important. This is your physical health, if this is your job, if this is whatever goals you have. Just because somebody has disappointed us or and I do think it is a person, doesn't mean that you need to completely abandon this and let this garden deteriorate. No, it just means that you might have to put in the extra effort that you were going to share with them, or that they were going to help you carry, part of the load, and that now it's on you. But we don't want to let the entire, the entire plan crumble. Okay, you don't want to abandon the work you're doing because of that Five of Cups. Future position, the imago, this is your kind of ideal form. This is what you are this is what the situation is sculpting you into. And I think it's somebody that is starting to realize that they can only really truly rely on themselves. That other people may say, hey, yeah, I'm going to show up, I'm going to help you move on Sunday. But knowing that they might not show up. And if they don't, what are you going to do? Are you going to just give up on moving and say, well, forget it then, I guess? Or are you going to find another way to make it work? Okay. And I think that if you're able to look at life and say, if I had to carry this entire burden myself, could I? Could I do it? Okay. I think for you, the answer is going to be yes, you can. Doesn't mean that you will always have to, but it means that you have to be willing and able to carry the entire burden if it came down to it. Okay. Ideally, this would be a partnership where the other person carried their weight, but for whatever reason, somebody didn't show up for you. Okay. And you're picking up the slack. Yeah. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Readings are totally free, they don't cost anything. Your general energy is the Prince of Wands. This is kind of your persona, right? This is how other people might see you. And I think other people see you as somebody that, in a way, they see you as somebody that is going to get it done no matter what. And that's a good thing. But let's say this is some kind of a joint project, or if it's a thing at work, maybe it's at school, or maybe it's even at home. The idea that I'm going to try to make it, but if I can't show up, it's no big deal because Gemini can do it. I know Gemini can handle it if I'm not there, right? Because they see you as a very steady force, somebody that can carry the momentum forward. And so it might be that this other person, whoever they are, I don't know who they are, it could be that they're taking you for granted a little bit, because they expect you to do it even if they can't show up. And if they can't show up, do they call you and tell you they can't? Do they have a valid reason? Or they just say, well, it's no big deal because Gemini can do it. Okay. And that I feel is maybe the way, at least this other person might be viewing the situation. Not so much a big deal because you can just continue on and you can do it yourself anyway. You're perfectly capable of doing it. Meanwhile, somebody made plans with you and they didn't show up, and you are hurt by that, and you should be. Okay. The projection, the image that you're giving to the world is one that isn't bothered by that. But deep down, you actually are. Five of Cups. You're disappointed in that. And I feel like it is somebody that has made a promise or made some sort of plan to you, and they didn't come through. Okay, I don't know what the degree of communication was, but I feel like that's not something that you would do. Okay. In the shadow position, this is what you avoid, the Ace of Swords. Okay. This is what might be buried in the vault of echoes for you, and I think that this is really the truth. That is the sort of realization that it's kind of what Spirit is trying to teach you through experience. That's why there's no major arcana energy. Spirit isn't just coming out with a major card saying this is the lesson. I think Spirit is trying to teach you through awareness, because the Ace of Swords is revelation that happens to us as we're in motion, as we're moving through life, what we're learning, what kind of wisdom we're gaining, what kind of truth are we establishing, what is the deeper understanding that you're forging about life. And I think this is the lesson really for you, that you're your consistency and you showing up on time is what really matters. Okay? That other people can and will sometimes disappoint you. You still have to show up for you. That you cannot let the actions of other people kind of, throw your life off track or derail your plans, so to speak. Okay? And I think it's your willingness to do it alone if you have to shoulder all of the burden if you need to. Okay? But this is a revelation, or this is a clarity about life that we don't always enjoy. Makes sense that this is going to be kind of buried in the shadow a little bit, but it's not anymore. I think now there's this revelation that's kind of like, okay, well, you know what? This person is just doesn't have the integrity that I would want in a friend or a partner or a collaborator or whatever it might be. I think it's the realization that that not everybody is going to do what they say. Okay? And I think about this person specifically, this is a truth about them that you don't really want to admit, and I think that it's kind of hard for you to say it out loud. That this person doesn't perhaps respect their commitment to you, or doesn't respect the work that the two of you were supposed to do together, or doesn't respect you even. Okay, and so that's a truth that we might try to bury. Okay, now the mirage, card 9. This is the illusion, okay? And to me, that is a dry, barren, sterile landscape where nothing has grown, okay? And the illusion here is that without this other person, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life won't bear fruit. I think that's the lie. That's the illusion, okay? If you believe that, it'll be true. If you believe that you can't accomplish something without this other person's assistance, or without their help, or without their partnership, or without their support, then you're right. If you believe that you can do it on your own, and that it will bear fruit, and that it is going to, because you're not going to give up on it, well, then you're right. Okay. So this is that card. This is really like showing that you need to believe in yourself right now. Okay. The 10th card is, of course, the virtue, the destiny card. The 3 of Wands, it's the sun in Aries. It's you having the integrity, it's you having the vision of this goal being reached. I think that something is going to really pick up the pace. Okay. I think that there's been a disappointment and perhaps this kind of like a stalled energy. I feel like that energy is going to start moving again, okay? And I think that this is your creativity, this is your willpower, this is your vision. This is you believing in that vision, believing in yourself. This is the card of virtue, okay? And so I think what it is now is Spirit's trying to give you an opportunity to prove your virtue, prove your integrity. Just because somebody else acted a fool, or disappointed you, or broke their word, or didn't show up, or something like that, doesn't mean that you have to succumb to that. So Spirit's giving you the opportunity right now to prove your virtue, and it may be by you picking up the slack and doing that extra work. Not because that's fair. No, it's not fair at all. Sometimes the 3 of Wands is doing the right thing even when it's not fair. You shouldn't have to do all the work. But in this case, you do. You do have to. Okay? And nobody is saying that it's fair. I'm going to laugh if the mystery card is the Justice card. But acknowledging that it's unfair and feeling how you feel about it is right. Okay? Nevertheless, you can feel how you feel, and you can still then just kind of pick up the slack, and you can put in the work, okay? Because this, the goal that you're after, it's like it means more to you than just being right. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to pick up the slack, but you're going to because you care about the result. Now, I want to look at the mystery card. This might be the Justice card, maybe a little bit of karma. is at work here. I do feel the Three of Wands is you getting some recognition for that hard work. So if this is happening at work, at home, at school, I feel like it is not fair, no. But I feel that you stepping up and doing what needs to be done and really taking care of business is going to bring you a lot of the recognition that you're going to be very pleased with. So this might be some water energy, showing the fruit, showing the rewards. All go to you. Might be a 10 of Cups, you know. It could be the 10 of Pentacles. It could be the Justice card. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh, 3, yeah, there we go. 3 of Cups, 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups. The celebration, the recognition, the accolades, the praise, the joy, all goes to you. Because you're the one that's proving your integrity. And so it's kind of like, to me, it's a karmic reward. You know, you're getting all the praise, you're getting all the glory, all the recognition, you're getting all the fruit of this labor, and that's fair. That's like you're getting your just desserts, you know, because yeah, you put in all the effort. You're doing all the work now. Somebody else just decides that, man, it's not that important, and they're going to go off and do something else. Maybe they didn't even call you to tell you they weren't showing up. And as angry as that might have made you, as frustrated, as disappointed, and etc., you did what needed to be done. You stepped up. And I think that now you get to claim all the reward for yourself. You don't have to share it with that other person that decided that it wasn't that important, you know. Now, you might actually decide that you want to share it with them, and that's your choice. But I think that this is a karmic reward. And I think that you're ready for this. And I think this is going to be a wonderful like relief, you know. It's going to be a wonderful gift here because you've earned this, and I think that you're an example for other people here. Okay, because you're not letting that disappointment derail your plans. You're saying, okay, well now things have changed. Now I've got to pick up way more of that extra work. I've got to do way more of the workload now. Okay, you know what? You're figuring out a way to make it work. You're figuring out a way to get it done, and it's going to reward you. Yeah. Now, what we're going to do is an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Gemini Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.